This might be one of the most exciting preview of a football game in a long time. If you look at the first 5 games, these two quarterbacks are playing unbelievable football right now. Jaden Daniels, he's throwing it to anybody and everybody. Tight ends, running backs, receivers. Terry McLaurin, he had 9 different receivers last week. He's rushed for almost 300 yards. He's completing like 80% of his passes. There's nothing this guy is doing wrong. He is playing like a seasoned vet. He's poised. He's accurate. He's tough. The team loves to play for him. The defense is playing harder because of Jaden Daniels, because they know that they have a chance to win every single game that they play. What he's done for this franchise, the kickstart that he's given them in the first 5 games, unlike any I've ever seen, even more so than C.J. Stroud last year at Houston. So been ultra impressed with them. You flip the card over to Baltimore. They're number 1 league in the league in rushing, over 200 yards a game. They're on pace to have 3,500 yards rushing in a season. Washington's number 2 rushing, by the way. Lamar, Derrick Henry, just phenomenal football players. Lindenbaugh, the center, is doing a great job. Ronnie Stanley, the right tackle. They're starting to merge on the offensive line. 2 very good tight ends, and Andrews and Likely. The receivers, Zay Flowers, Aguilar, they're doing a much better job. Bateman had a touchdown last week. So they have a very well-balanced team. It's not all about Derrick Henry and Lamar's rushing. Lamar's throwing the ball all over the yard right now. So they're averaging 200 yards rushing, about 230 yards passing, so they're a balanced machine offensively. The issue is on both sides of the ball is defense. Washington, however, the last 2 weeks against Arizona and Cleveland has stepped up their game considerably on defense. They've got stops. They've got a couple turnovers. They're playing hard. They're moving people around. Been exciting to watch on defense, albeit it was Cleveland, but they did shut down Arizona pretty well, which is a very good offensive football team, supposedly. Baltimore, they struggled the last couple of weeks as well. Cincinnati gutted them. I mean, all over the place. And this is not like a Baltimore defense. I don't know who's leading the pack. They have a rookie corner. Stevens isn't playing very good at corner. Their pass defense is very, very average, in my opinion. They got a new defensive coordinator in Zach Gore. He's trying to find his way. But Baltimore's always been built on their toughness up front and their ability to play defense. Right now, they still have the toughness up front on offense, but their toughness up front and ability to play defense is in jeopardy. What they do have is a great special teams. Tucker struggled a little bit early, but he started to find his way, had a big 56-yarder last week to help put him in a position to get in overtime. But this is going to be a great game. I can't wait to watch it. The offensive line for Washington is drastically improved with Tyler Biadasz coming over from Dallas. They've just done a great job of Zach Ertz, a tight end presence. So I can't wait to watch the game. This is going to be my favorite game of the week to watch. Nobody would have thought that this game would be as close as it might be. If you told me Baltimore was going to play Washington before the season started, I would have said Baltimore would have been about a 20-point favorite. Now it's probably like 6. I don't know. It's going to be a lot closer than people think the way Washington's playing with the confidence they're playing. Baltimore won 3 games in a row. Washington won 4 games in a row. This is going to be a great game.
You think it's going to be a shootout?
Based on the numbers, if you're a numbers guy, an analytic guy, you got to say, hell yeah, it's going to be a shootout. I mean, the only thing is Baltimore is pretty good against the run. They've only given up 60 yards rushing a game against the run. And Washington has relied on the run game, not just Jaden Daniels, but Brian Robinson Jr. has done a great job. Eckler's had some big hits. Jeremy McNichols even had a couple big hits. They've utilized different types of personnel, 2 tight ends, 1 tight end, different types of motion, different run schemes. They've been very good. So it's going to be whoever can be more efficient on first and second down, obviously convert to third downs, and then what happens in the red zone. The only issue, the Commanders played a couple weeks ago against the Giants. They had 7 drives inside the 20 and got 7 field goals. So they're going to have to convert those to touchdowns without a doubt. But I think it's going to be a very close game. Turnover is going to be a big deal. I mean, Washington's 0 plus minus and Baltimore's only +1. So neither team's really turning the ball over or getting turnovers. I think the biggest part of this game is going to be who converts in the red zone, because driving from the 20 to the 20, I don't think will be an issue. It's going to be the 20-yard line going in will be the biggest issue.
So who takes it?
I think probably Baltimore, just because, I don't know, just Lamar's confidence level right now the last 3 weeks and the way they won that game against Cincinnati, bringing them back. I don't know. I wouldn't bet against Jaden Daniels right now. I'd coin flip it. But I just think Washington's defense probably isn't where it needs to be, although they played good the last 2 weeks. They haven't played very, Cleveland and Arizona struggle a little bit, but I think Baltimore will probably take it.
I saw a stat today that said the Commanders are leading the league in rushing touchdowns right now with 13. Number 2 is the Baltimore Ravens at 8. So both of these teams are doing a good job once they get down there of putting it in the end zone, minus the Giants game, right, for the Commanders. But as you said, I think both of these defenses, the strength is in their defensive front, right, and the interior defensive front.
Exactly right. And that's where Payne and Allen come through. And, Baltimore, like I said, has stopped the run pretty well. It's just, I don't know, for whatever reason, they have not gotten after the passer like typical Baltimore Raven defenses do. They haven't been blitzing enough, and their coverage hasn't been as tight as it usually is.
I've been expecting more out of Justin Madubuike. And I know he's played great, but he's like the one guy on that defense that they paid all that money to.
It's not Justin anymore. They changed his name.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He changed his name. What's his name now?
It starts with 2 N's.
Namdi.
Bang.
Well, all right. Namdi Madubuike's got to have a big game this week coming up, but that's you threw me off my train of thought there. But yeah, D linemen changing their names. We got to just start, changing the run statistics there.
Yeah, the Battle of the Beltway. It's a pretty big matchup up there in the DMV area.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like the Cincinnati game, to be honest with you. 38-35, overtime, and a close game coming down to a field goal kick. If it comes down to field goals, you got to give the edge to Baltimore because of Tucker. It's just going to be a fun game to watch. I can't wait.